Now look, let's get to the WNBA, where Chicago Sky rookie forward Angel Reese was ejected from the game last night.
You're not going to believe what's been happening in the WNBA lately. Angel Reese, after getting absolutely torn apart by basketball experts, has gone completely off the rails. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been out here shaking things up, leaving players in her dust and turning the league upside down. From heated rivalries to wild antics on the court, these two rising stars are bringing more drama than ever before. Why is Angel so fired up? And how has Caitlin become the player everyone loves to hate while still dominating the game? Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into this fiery feud, where the competition is fierce, the trash talk is louder, and the stakes are higher than ever. Let's get into it. Angel Reese went into full meltdown mode after getting roasted by basketball experts recently, while Caitlin Clark seems to have turned the entire WNBA upside down. Ever since Caitlin strutted onto the court, it's like she's triggered a mass outbreak of basketball madness. Seriously, her mere presence has players losing their cool left and right. It's as if they see her and think, "There's Caitlin, time to act irrational." Some players are so determined to take her down, they're throwing everything at her, but the kitchen sink race, class, skill, you name it. If they could, they'd probably blame her for bad Wi-Fi too. The competition has gone from fierce to absolutely bonkers, with everyone scrambling to find some angle to knock her off her game. Meanwhile, Caitlin's just out there draining threes like, why is everyone freaking out? The whole scene has turned into a mix of high-stakes basketball and reality TV drama, and Caitlin Clark is sitting at the center of it all, cool as a cucumber. She's changed the WNBA, no doubt. But who knew her secret weapon was making everyone else lose their minds? Here's the thing. People aren't just disliking her. They're struggling to handle the massive wave of attention. This rookie is soaking up, while they've been working hard for years with far less recognition. And let's face it, Angel Reese is at the front of the pack when it comes to trash talk. But don't worry, the basketball experts have given her so much criticism that she'll probably think twice.
Angel, your actions are starting to speak so loud, we can't hear what you're telling us.
Hip checking her, I would have ejected her from the game. It's not a basketball play.
Or maybe even 3 times before speaking up again. Both are rookies, both are talented. So why is Angel jealous of Caitlin? It's simple. It all comes down to the spotlight. The difference between Caitlin and Angel is like comparing a top chef to someone still learning the basics. They're both in the game, but only one is really stealing the show right now. Caitlin Clark's stats aren't just impressive, they're jaw-dropping. She's putting up an average of 17.1 points, 8.2 assists, and 4.9 rebounds per game. She's not just a player, she's redefining the game, a true triple threat who can shift the momentum of any match just by stepping onto the court. On the other hand, Angel Reese is certainly no slouch, with solid numbers of 13.5 points and 11.9 rebounds per game. But when you line her stats up next to Caitlin's, the difference is clear. Angel's got talent, but Caitlin's playing on a whole different level. And guess what? Our beloved Angel wasn't having any of it. Oh no, not one bit. Feeling like she was living in Caitlin's shadow, she let her emotions take the wheel. And let's just say, it wasn't exactly a smooth ride. That green-eyed monster called jealousy? Yeah, it showed up with a suitcase and decided to move in permanently. Next thing you know, Angel's actions had about as much to do with healthy competition as a fish does with a bicycle. She started behaving in ways that made people scratch their heads, wondering, what on earth happened? As Dan Patrick wisely said, the big moment of the game, whether you see it as a high point or a bit over the top, came when Angel, clearly at her wit's end, decided to unleash her inner WWE superstar. she hit Caitlin with the legendary "you can't see me" hand gesture, the one John Cena made famous. It was like she was saying, "You may be good, but right now, you're invisible to me." If you somehow missed it, don't worry, it's hard to forget once you've seen it. Acting in the heat of the moment might have seemed like a smart or bold move, but in reality, it was more like a desperate attempt to grab attention. This game didn't just get noticed for what happened on the court. It became famous for all the drama that came after. Reese's taunt was like a big flashing sign saying, "I can't keep up with you, so here's a distraction." The basketball community didn't ignore it. Legends, sports analysts, and pretty much everyone on social media had something to say about Reese's actions. They didn't just see it as a cheap shot, but as proof that Reese was more focused on pulling down a better player rather than improving her own game. Holly Rowe added her own thoughts on the situation.
Angel Reese holding up a ring finger to Caitlin Clark. But it feels like that's going to be more than just a footnote here, Holly.
As the internet tends to do, it went wild with memes, hashtags, and endless hot takes, all fixated on that single moment. But let's just say, Reese probably didn't get the trending she was hoping for. Instead of fans rallying around her, the internet took the opportunity to point out just how much she'd fallen behind Caitlin. It became less of a rallying cry and more of a symbol of Reese's frustration versus Caitlin's ice-in-her-veins level of composure. While Angel was out there trying to play mind games, Caitlin was too busy owning the court to even bother. You've got to feel for Reese, though. While she was crafting psychological warfare, Caitlin was crafting a highlight reel. Caitlin's response was the perfect example of quiet strength and confidence. She didn't need to respond or engage in trash talk. Her performance on the court said everything. Each time she plays, she delivers incredible results, breaking records and exceeding expectations. Her game is full of amazing moments that leave everyone amazed. But the game on August 30th, 2024 was something special, and it's my favorite. If you missed it, you missed a piece of history. Caitlin scored 31 points and made 12 assists against the Chicago Sky. This wasn't just an ordinary game, it was a statement of her skill and dominance. She became the first player in WNBA history to achieve those numbers in a regular season game, and she did it with ease, like it was just another day. That performance will be remembered for years, and if you didn't see it, you missed a historic moment. The Rookie of the Year competition was over before it even began because of Caitlin's amazing performance. Her scoring was top-notch, her playmaking was unmatched, and her overall impact on the game left everyone behind. Even when Angel Reese tried to say that stats don't show everything, the numbers were just too strong to ignore. Stefan definitely has a valid point. Caitlin Clark is averaging 17.1 points and 8.2 assists per game. And for a rookie, those are incredible stats. When you compare that to Reese, who is doing well with 13.5 points and 11.9 rebounds, it's clear she just doesn't match Caitlin's all-around game. It's like comparing a solid B+ to a perfect A++, and everyone can see it. Every time Reese tries to downplay it, it only makes Caitlin's dominance even more obvious. Now let's focus on Caitlin Clark's impact on basketball. She is making waves at every level, creating a buzz that hasn't been seen in a long time. Her rise has brought a huge amount of attention to the WNBA, with more people watching the games and buying merchandise whenever she's on the court. On social media, she's a viral sensation, with her highlight plays being shared everywhere, attracting fans who might not have paid attention to women's basketball before. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player, she's leading a movement, inspiring the next generation to dream big and play even bigger. Angel Reese started her basketball career with a lot of promise, but her recent actions on the court have caused major problems. Critics have been harsh, and Charles Barkley, known for being blunt, called her behavior immature and unprofessional on asterisk inside the NBA asterisk. Shaquille O'Neal also criticized her, saying that trash talk only works if you can back it up with your performance, something Caitlin Clark did easily, while Reese couldn't. Many people started to think that Reese's behavior was driven by frustration because she couldn't keep up with Clark. Every time Reese tried to take a shot at Clark, it only made the gap between them more obvious, making Reese's weaknesses stand out even more. Public opinion has completely turned against Reese. Fans who once cheered for her have lost patience with her actions. Social media, which could have helped her connect with supporters, has instead become filled with negative comments, hashtags, and memes that make fun of her. Her attempts to apologize and explain her actions haven't worked. People are skeptical and no longer believe in her. The public's judgment is clear. They've lost faith in Reese. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is making a huge impact. She has brought a lot of attention to women's basketball, especially the WNBA, with more people watching games and buying merchandise whenever she's involved. Clark's highlights go viral on social media, bringing in fans who didn't care about women's basketball before. She's not just playing the game, she's inspiring a whole new generation to aim higher and work harder, changing the future of women's basketball in a big way. What's your take on the intense rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark? Do you think Angel's frustration is understandable, or is Caitlin just playing on another level? We want to hear your thoughts, so share your comments down below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on the WNBA and the latest sports news. Stay tuned, because there's plenty more excitement coming your way.